guys, and today we have here another very awesome deck profile. We have here Nekroz. Again, we are going over the big 3 decks of the last format now that all of them has gotten touched. But this, of course, has gotten touched the least out of all of them. They just lost 4 cards technically, because Snatch did get hit also. But the deck has 5,000 searches. The point at which this deck would get hit bad, like if this deck got hit really bad, then we would be running Sonic for like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Like at that point, this deck would have gotten hit really bad. But of course, it is still pretty decent, arguably even more powerful, because the Jinlock is, in a certain sense, even more consistent. Because now, and before you needed either Giski Chain, Senju, or Manju, and then either a Brio, a Prep, a Colossalus, a Unicorn, or a Kaleidomir to get off. Now you can have Rhoda. Now, if you have Rhoda in your hand and you open up with Manju, you can get off the lock. And if you open up with Colossalus also in that hand, then not really. Well, if you have Manju and Colossalus, then you can get off the lock. But opening up with both of these cards, not so good. But as far as the overall deck goes, still very powerful. The only thing is, though, is right now, we really don't know what are the 2 decks under Nekroz. We can be pretty certain that Nekroz are going to be a big deck, because they can just run to Nekroz and then just say screw you to every single deck, even those that don't special summon, like those Senjus. They can't play well under the Neko. They can combo 1 it and return it to the hand, but even then, like, that only goes so far. Like, I'm just gonna summon it again and then get off my play. Are you gonna combo 1 to Nekroz Echo, or are you gonna combo 1 something worse, like, I don't know, a Trishula that you can't run over? So there is a lot of things that this deck has to be ready for. I've seen a lot of different decks. If the ranked on Death Pro means anything, you should be prepared for Heroes, Sis Hellenites, Burning Abyss, and Cliffhearts still, of course. But I've seen Blackwings even, and your Senjus and Spearbeats. Like, if you have a Regionals or YCS at the beginning of this month, April, I feel sorry for you. Like, that's just awful. You will have no clue what you're gonna face. But let's go right in for those of you who are new to this deck. We have 2 Giski Chains. We're running 2 Giski Chains. I know a lot of people don't like these, but I wanted to make Mass Chain second one alive, so that way we can make Acid, and I'll go over all of that later. But you get a look at the top 3 decks, and if there is a Ritual Monster or Ritual Spell card, you can reveal one, add it to your hand, then return the rest to the top of your deck in any order, so that can be very lovely. It can let you pretty much get you the Nekroz a little bit faster, because now you can put them up to the top and then go like, okay, I'm not going to search, so that way I can get that to Nekroz. And then Senju and Manju, they search out a Ritual Monster from your deck, except Manju also has the added ability to search out a Ritual Spell card, but most of the time you're going for a monster, and the monsters can get you these guys anyway, so they're pretty much the same exact card. 2 Jin Release for Rituals. This is a very big card, very powerful card, and it is pretty much, if you use this card for Ritual Summon, your opponent cannot special summon, and you can banish it from the graveyard, so it's really easy to use. And if you have it in your hand, you can use it twice, once from your hand, once from your grave. So it's very powerful. It can just shut down a whole bunch of decks. The Tellarknights, Cliffhearts, Burning Abyss, they just all get shut down. And this deck can get off the first turn Jin so consistently sometimes that they just don't get a chance to even play. And some people even call this card to be ban-worthy. I don't think so, because it just kill all of the other Ritual decks. Like, I like the fact that I can play Relinquish this format, despite the fact that Relinquish is a 5,000-year-old card in the game, and all other 5,000-year-old cards cannot be played anymore, but Jin Release or Rituals lets me play Relinquish this format, until I run into Cliffhearts, that is. But it is very powerful. It does help balance out the power creep just a little bit. But it is really annoying. And then Shrit, you can use him as an entire tribute, and if he is tributed, he can add a Warrior type Nekroz Ritual Monster from your deck to the hand. He works really well with Valkyrius, who I am not running in here. Valkyrius is this fellow over here who lets you tribute to draw. A lot of people run him, but again, I'm all for the Jin. This is Turbo Jin, for those of you who are really looking for a more standard build, but because I don't like Valkyrius, like every time you can go for Valkyrius, you can go for a Jinlock. I've seen it in so many duels where people go for Valkyrius, and it's like you could have Jinned your opponent, and then you wouldn't have had to deal with all these problems that he just got out. It's just so much better to Jin your opponent, guys. Unless you're facing your Senjus. Like, the most painful moment is when you're going first, and you get off a first turn Jin, and then you see your opponent's playing your Senjus, and you're just like, damn it. because they don't special summon. Decisive Armor, he gives our monsters a 1000 attack and damage step by discarding him. Or you can summon him and use him to pop back rubs, so he's really nice. And he banishes it, so that's even nice. Trishula, this is a really important card of the deck. He banishes a card from hand, field, and graveyard. But you have to banish all 3, or you don't banish any. So that is something to note. And if a ritual monster is targeted while this card is in your hand, you can discard him to negate that effect. Garnier, you can discard her to make it so your ritual monsters cannot be destroyed this turn. And if she's on the field during either player's turn, you can discard a Nekroz card, then target 1 card on field destroyed. Should be a lot better if it said tribute a Nekroz card, because then you could go plus with shred. Actually, it would be, no, it would be a plus, because you'd pop a card and then get a search off. So it would be really good if she said tribute. Unfortunately, she says discard. So if you want to run a deck around here, you can run Pero and Sinister Serpent now that those cards are out. 2 Brio. Brio recently went to 2. You would be running 3, but nope, he's at 2. He lets you search for a ritual monster from the deck, and if you summon him, you can bounce 2 extra deck monsters back to the extra deck, but mainly use him just to search. And there is a combo with him where you can get out Shooting Star Dragon by using Clydomir and Quasar, and then Xe summon the 2 Brios into Exabeetle, then equip, then destroy 2 cards, and then you use Quasar's effect to summon out Shooting Star Dragon. I don't really like it. It's a possibility. It's something you can think about if you want to do, but it's a thing. But I don't like it because you give up 2 of your searches. So if that play doesn't work out, then you're left with pretty much nothing except top decking. 2 Unicorn, only 2. Wow, I only want 2 Unicorn. Okay. You can discard him from your hand to add a Nekroz card from your graveyard to your hand. If he's face up on the field, he negates the effects of extra deck monsters. The main point is that he's a level 4. Because you want to make him and have Asenju and Amanju and have Unicorn, so that way you can make your level 4 hand for your first turn Jin play. Or just your Jin play in general. Colossalus. Some people don't run 3 of this card. I understand why, because after you get your first ritual spell card, you really don't need him, you don't really want to top deck into him. But, again, Jin Turbo, we want to get off that first turn Jin, so he's there to let us search for ritual spell cards. And then 1 Rejeki, 3 Rotas, which can search out either our 2 Druids or 3 Colossalus, so we have 5 targets, so that is very good. Unfortunately, she is not. If she was a warrior, that would be super. That would just be awful. 1 Prep, now that went to 1, you can add any of your ritual monsters pretty much. You can pretty much add Brio, and the Brio will get you your level 7 or higher. And then you can add 1 ritual spell card from your graveyard to your hand. For the ritual spell cards, the things to note with them is this card can use Nekroz cards in your graveyard, and so that's really nice. But they all have the effect, by the way, that you can banish them and another Nekroz card from your graveyard to add a Nekroz spell card from your deck to your hand. So that is why Colossalus isn't good to top deck into, because if you're in a bad situation, you can always get your Nekroz ritual spell cards back, because just by banishing ones you've used the previous turn. So this card would only get you more ritual spell cards when you need monsters. But it is what it is. And then Clydomir lets you use your extra decks. That's why we're running a whole bunch of synchro monsters. Just for the different scenarios you could be in where you need to send a level 10 synchro monster to summon them out. This card can summon more than one at the same time. So if you have a Gunyo and a Colossalus, then you can make a gun. Then you can send a Leo, which would be very interesting. And then Cycles summons from the graveyard. This is one of the key cards to the Jin play, because it's really easy just for a Colossalus to search out this card, and then you can use this card to just summon out Colossalus because he's in the graveyard. So this card is really, really well. And then for back row destruction, 3 MST and 1 Mass Chain Second, which we can use on any level 7 or lower water monsters to make acid. And so the deck is, again, very good. Probably going to be, again, the big deck of the format. So if you're playing this, good. And you're going to have fun time. But if you're going into, again, a tournament right away at the beginning of April, then you're going to have to be prepared. And your side deck's going to have to be really good. It's like I put in so many cards. Like, I've been playing ranked for, like, the past couple days with your Senjus. It's like I put in cards in my side and in my main for these decks, and then just some other decks come out, and I see them a couple of times, and it's like, I don't know what are big decks anymore, so I don't know what to prepare for, and what to call rogue. Because that is something to note. If there is no rogue decks in the format, then that can be really bad. So again, you just have to be really prepared. And as far as the extra deck goes, we have again Acid. He will destroy all of your opponent's back row. Use him when you have to Nekroz second. You just pretty much use Master Chain second, discard a card, and you can use any of our level 7 or lower 1 monsters, including your Shrit and our Gishki Chains. Make this guy, just destroy your opponent's back row. I just feel back row is really stupid this format. If Vanities was at 3, I started testing them when Vanities was at 3, but now that Vanities is at 1, people running more stun-based cards like Fiendish Chain. I've seen like Trap Tricks becoming a thing again. So this card is a little bit better now that Vanities went to 1, but it is what it is. If you can get it off, then congratulations. I don't think it would be too much of a problem. I mean, if your opponent has to choose between, it just forces them, at the worst, it forces them to activate their Fiendish Chain or their Bottomless or whatever, and then you don't have to deal with it when you make your play. Anyways, we have Quasar. Again, you can use them to just summon out multiple ritual monsters. Like, let's see, you can of course do the 2 Brio, but you can also do, this is a 9, and then you can use Colossus too, so you can do stuff like that. Star Raider and just a whole, yeah, they're all synchros just for the different scenarios you could be in. Except for Hero to Bark, like, this is a specific card you gotta run, so that way you can summon out your Unicorns. And when it's sent to the graveyard, you get up to search for ritual spell or ritual monster. So it's just really powerful, really great. And it's part of your Gen play, which I will go all over, which I kind of already did, but again, I will go over in detail and probably do in the duel we have tomorrow. Exabito, I already went over the combo with them. 101, just generic rank furs, and Cowboy and Lavava Chain being the 2 main ones that you would probably ever make. Lavava Chain being definitely what you want to make. So as far as the Gen play goes, let's say you open up with Senju and you open up with, like, let's say Unicorn. Let's just make it easy. Use Senju, you can summon him, add Brio, add Colossus, add Clydomir. Clydomir send Arclight, summon this guy, add Cycles, make Lavelvo Chain, drop your Djinn to your graveyard, and then you use Cycles, manage the Djinn, summon out the Colossus. You have a Lavelvo Chain and a Colossus on your side of the field, and you only used 2 out of your 5 starting cards. So there's a variety of things that could make it even better. If you opened up with Brio, then you could have just gone straight for Colossus and then use the Brio to go for Garnier, which makes it really good, because now they can't just drop that Rejeki on you and just destroy you, or run over Colossus maybe, despite the fact that he has 23 defense. So that is something to note. And so that is the deck profile. It's very similar to the last format. The deck just has way too many searches. I mean, it has 3 Gishikane, 3 Senju, 3 Manju, 3 Rodas. This is so many good cards on. 3 Sonic Birds still. There's a lot of searches for ritual monsters. Like, I believe there's this card. Yeah, Spiritual Whisper. Cannot be destroyed battle. When this is Pendulum Summon, add 1 ritual monster, ritual spell card from your deck to your hand. If only this was a Pendulum monster. If it was an actual Pendulum monster, then you could just keep on spamming. But it is an OCG exclusive, but just to point out just random cards you can use. So you could use this in Zephyra, if it ever came out for the TCG, which probably wouldn't be bad. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this deck profile again. Tell me what you guys think about Nekroz. And do you think they're going to be a big deck? Do you think they're going to falter a little bit compared to a lot of the other tech that people are running? Tell me again what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you guys later. Bye.